What every man should be doing right now, what every family should be doing right now, is something that let's be honest, Americans or Western society doesn't want to do, and that is saving and investing. As you all know, unless you live under a rock, or if you just ignore any type of news, or if you don't get on social media, or if you don't listen to anybody that's even you work with or live with or interact with, there are a lot of financial things going on, specifically tariffs, that are affecting America specifically, or are supposed to affect America. The biggest one is the tariffs that this administration is imposing on China. As of today, and that's April 16, 2025, the tariffs on China from the U.S. is now at a possibly 245%, which is crazy. Now, a lot of people don't understand that other countries have tariffs on the United States as well. I just want to talk a little bit about that to transition into what I'm going to talk about next. Like I've already said, what families should be doing. And if you're not a man, but you're watching this, if you're a woman, a single mother or anything, this still applies to you. What we should be doing right now, if we have tariffs in place on other countries, on imported goods from other countries, what we need to be doing right now is saving and investing. Okay, we don't need to be spending money. We don't need to just buy crap. We need to be saving and investing our money. Seen this channel, if you haven't, I always tie something into the Word of God, to the Bible, because I believe that God gave us this scripture for a way to prosper, a way to live, a way to have an abundant life. He also showed us how to be closer to Him, to be righteous people. So I'm going to use the Bible. Hopefully you will learn something. Hopefully this will change your life. Hopefully this will help your family. So we're going to go to Proverbs 21. Proverbs 21 and 20. Okay, 21 and 5 first. So Proverbs 21 and 5, the plans of the diligent lead surely to plenty, but those of everyone who is hasty surely to poverty. Now, I said that everyone should be saving and investing. You can save and invest and still live, right? I know everyone needs to have food every day. Everyone needs to have some clothes every day. Everyone needs to have a roof over their head. Everyone needs to, like in America, because of the size or depending on where you are, everyone needs transportation. So I understand that. We shouldn't try to spend every single dollar that we have, right? So I know a lot of people, especially if you're watching this, a lot of people make money, a lot of people have a job, or a lot of people have businesses. When you make that money, you should the first thing you should do is have somewhat of a budget, okay? What I mean by budget, you can be very strict and say every single dollar is lined out to go somewhere, but really you just need to be diligent about how you're spending your money, right? So if you're like, hey, I'm gonna use round numbers so it's easy. I make $1,000 every week or $2,000 every 2 weeks. Then you need to make sure that, hey, I'm allotting myself $500 for groceries for the month. I'm allotting myself, again, these are just made up numbers. I'm allotting myself $200 or $300 for gas. I'm allotting myself $100 every month for clothes, or I'm allotting, and you need to still make sure that you have some money that you're saving. So let's say out of $2,000, a lot of people like to use a 10% rule. That $2,000, you say, I'm gonna put $200 back in savings. I'm honestly okay with you doing a 5% or 10%, but you need to save something. So let's say 5%, you put $100 back. Let's say you put $100 back from every check. So $100, $200 a month you're putting back in savings. You also need to put some back in some type of investment. What I mean by investment, that's either a lot of people go stock market, or for me personally, I do some stocks. I also do real estate. You can do some real estate type stocks to where you're investing in like funds that invest in housing or real estate, but you also can put your money in like a CD or a high yield savings account, or even buy bonds from the United States Treasury. But saving and investing is going to be the most important thing at this time, considering that we could possibly have increased pricing of imported goods. Now, I'm going to go to the next verse, Proverbs 21:20. There is desirable treasure and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man squanders it. So basically, like, there are a lot of good things that we can enjoy in the world, but some of us, the majority of America, I'm going to say, the majority of Americans like to indulge themselves in luxury items or in luxury things more than actually using their brain, using their brain power to actually make smart decisions. We don't have to experience all the luxuries all the time. We're a very short-sighted nation at the moment. We're very, I want to have my cake and eat it too right now. We're very instant gratification. And that is what is keeping us in debt. And honestly, that's a reason why we're in this predicament now. Back in the day, before this administration, before the most recent presidential administration, like in the 80s, 90s, our politicians really kind of sold us out to other countries by allowing our manufacturing and allowing our jobs to be shut down here, and a lot of manufacturing being done in other countries for cheaper labor. Because we as a society, or we as a country, kind of noticed, and this is really corporations and bureaucrats have noticed that, oh, we can make more of a profit if we move our jobs overseas, and then we'll still sell the same product to the American people. Now, you know, as a business owner, I can somewhat understand that you do want to make sure you have a profit, but at the same time, if you're doing so much, you're trying to make so much of a profit that you're affecting other people's lives, that's where you're wrong, right? I think a lot of people have gotten, well, American society has gotten to where we want to make so much money. We want to be the richest we can be at the expense or at the cost of anybody else. Like I said, I'm a business owner, or me and my wife are business owners, and I discuss almost every day with people that we interact. It's like people, ask me, "How's your business going?" And I go, "Hey man, I got the lights on. Like me and my wife are eating. My children are taken care of, and that's that's the thing." I'm not trying to knock somebody over the head. There are a lot of American corporations that are being exposed with these tariffs to China, that they have been making a killing. There's a lot of luxury companies, period, that are getting exposed. I don't know if you're on TikTok, any of you that are watching, but if you're on TikTok, there are multiple accounts of companies, Chinese companies. I personally don't think that they're real. I don't think they're the same companies that are making the luxury brands or some of the brands that are importing goods, but real and fake are the same thing as what a lot of these Chinese factories are saying. So the American companies, the high-end companies, the luxury companies, the luxury brands are just making crap tons of money off of us. So again, I'm going to tie this back in. We need to save and invest instead of spending our money on luxury stuff or high-end stuff that really is not as high-end as you think. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. Now, no chastening seems to be joyful for the present, but painful nevertheless, after it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. And what chastening here is like having no restraint. So now, if you don't have any restraint, seems to be joyful in the present, but painful nevertheless, after it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. So if you don't have any restraint when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your saving, your investment, it may seem like it's fine, it may seem like it's fun, it may seem like it's okay at the moment, but you're gonna pay for it later on. You're gonna pay for it when you're, let's say you're in your 20s or 30s and you're watching this. You're gonna pay for it when you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, when you still have to work your fingers to the bone. If you're 30 and 40 and still doing the thing, you're paying for it still. You shouldn't be always fighting tooth and nail to get by. You should, right now, today, you should implement a budget or implement a saving investment strategy. I will probably talk about that in another video on different strategies on saving and investing. But right now, today, the biggest thing I need you to understand is you need to change your habits on spending, because the upcoming days may make or break you, okay? The tariffs that have been implemented on other countries could impact, which is already has, some items have already been impacted, but could make a huge impact on the American society, on the American consumer. So you as a man, you as a family, you as a woman, if you're watching this, you need to change your habits. You need to save, you need to invest, because like I said, China alone, we import so many things from China. It's crazy. We import plastic, we import shoes, we import clothes, we import some food, we import board games. A lot of things are imported from China that we don't even think about. Half of everything that we wear, half of everything that we have in our home was made in China. The chair you're probably sitting on is made in China. I know the phone or the computer that you are watching this on was made in China. So just think about what is about to happen or could happen if China and America don't come together or make some type of deal. You could hedge this by saving your money. You can hedge this by investing your money. You can hedge this by changing your spending habits, changing your spending strategy. Hope this video was helpful. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for checking out. Stay blessed.